Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy JTL. Y'all see the title, so let's get into it. All right, so contrary to popular belief that, Pac wanted Jada Pinkett so bad and Jada Pinkett wanted Pac so bad, didn't matter because Pac ended up not wanting her. And I got another thing that I'm going to slide in here for y'all to check out, which is going to show Jada Pinkett speaking on Pac as well in a situation they had. But first, let me get into this letter that Tupac wrote to Sista Souljah talking about Jada Pinkett and another young lady. So let's go ahead. But before I start, make sure y'all subscribe and hit that notification bell so that y'all can get all notifications from this channel. All right? So this is the letter, a handwritten letter to Sista Souljah from Pac when he was doing time at Dannemora in New York for that charge that he caught, that bogus charge. And this is from TupacLegacy.net. Shout out to them. They've been working hard. They always got the best Pac stories and scoops and interviews. I don't care what Vulture TV try to tell y'all. All right? So here we go. I can trust you, so okay, there's that chapter when you were contemplating sharing this man with another woman. I'm in that position now. I love one woman, A, because she's dependable, loving, supportive, and she's young and open to me guiding her through this crazy life. Who am I to God? Anyway, woman A is from the streets, and that's all she knows. But I can see and feel how much she loves me. Woman B, on the other hand, is famous, rich, and able to assist me financially, loving, seriously, and very sexual. She's known me since before I got into the business, and she's been there from the jump. However, she's bisexual and so into her career that we don't have much time together. So I'm literally torn between an old friend who went from being of a platonic nature to a potential wife, and a new friend who has been there through this whole gunshot, rape, near-death experiences. I have rejected both, but then reconsidered. So y'all excuse me if I slow down a little bit at times because the writing is a little dark. I reconsidered and got them both back. They know of each other, and I have tried to make it work as a threesome. Not sexually, but commitment-wise. Had I not read your book, I would have continued living, lying, and juggling with all of these other women. But between the both of them, I am completely satisfied. I've always felt that when I love someone, it is so intense that I drive them away. But with A and B, it evens everything out. I can satisfy both of them, and not because I'm a Superman lover. Shout out to Redman. But because I truly love them both, and the intensity and passion I feel for them keeps me driven to please them. Can you feel me? It's hard to explain on paper. Maybe when you visit me, I can elaborate, which brings me to my next step. Yes, I would love for you to come visit me. There isn't a list, but there are certain days and times for each inmate. I'll attempt to reach you by phone to make it happen. Now back to me controlling my sexual desires. Now be honest, as a woman, how could you love a man that couldn't properly satisfy you? Since men are born totally inept sexually, we only learn how to please a woman from pleasing a woman. So as rotten as it seems, practice makes perfect. Every woman I have been with has not only taken what I learned from the last woman, but taught me and prepared me for the next. And since I am not married and have yet to find that perfect woman you describe, I am forever in search of her. I feel you on that one, Pop. I have been with many married women, from wives of powerful drug lords to the wives of broke everyday Joes to the wives of giving very few famous and rich singers, actors, and seeing their wives hungry for someone else has shown me that only being able to completely satisfy a woman in every way, shape, and form can I truly find a happy and trusting, faithful relationship. Now, to answer your other questions, my health is fine. I truly feel blessed that other than mentally, I have no scars or lasting problems from my ordeal. I still have the complete use of every nerve, limb, and muscle, and more surprisingly, I still can make love and have babies after taking a shot to my scrotum. Talk about faith in God. Mentally, however, the helpless feeling never leaves me. I can't sleep. I wake up sweaty and disorientated when I do doze off, and I will never erase the faces of my attackers from my mind. To be honest, the bullets didn't hurt much, not at first, but afterwards, it was painful. I didn't feel the shots to my head, hand, and scrotum, but because of all the muscles involved, the leg wound was a real bitch. You know what? I'm going to stop it there. But like I said, this is on tupaclegacy.net. I got the link in the description if y'all want to go ahead and read the whole thing. So as you see, I'm going to go ahead and go back to what he was saying about the young ladies. All right, so one woman that he said was in the business, he knew her from back in the days, rich and famous. Obviously, he was talking about Jada. But what shows Pop chose not to go with her and didn't want Jada Pinkett, I'm going to go ahead and go to this next picture and show y'all what I'm talking about. Okay, as you see, Pac and this young lady right here. This is Keisha Morris. This is Tupac's wife. All right? So, this is the young lady that Pac was talking about in his letter to Sista Souljah, along with Jada Pinkett. All right? So, this is by, I never really heard of this site before, but I'm glad they had it. So, this is by Scubby.com. Scubby.com. Anyways, there has been much controversy surrounding certain details of the film. One thing omitted from the movie, hip-hop legend's personal life. If you didn't already know, Pac was married. The union ended in annulment, but his bride maintains the rapper shaped her into the woman she is today. Here go Pac and his wife while he was incarcerated. All right. So Keisha Morris was only 20 years old when she met Tupac Shakur in 1994. She revealed to XXL magazine that they met at a club called Capitol in New York. Nothing happened at their initial meeting, with their pair speaking about Pac's various legal woes. But Tupac was very taken by her. According to Morris, after they parted, Tupac told her he spent the next month going into different clubs hoping to bump into her. See? Sharing a kiss. After they saw each other again, Tupac invited her to his hotel room, but Keisha flatly turned him down. But the rapper was persistent. He gave Keisha his number, and as she didn't have a mobile, she gave him her house number. The next day, she had to go to work, and he called her when she got home. I was in shock. We started talking from that day on, Morris said. While the two were dating, Morris worked as a camp counselor. She also attended John Jay College of Criminal Justice in New York. That's what's up. But their blossoming romance stalled in 1993 when Tupac was convicted of first-degree sexual assault. He was sentenced to 1.5 to 4.5 years in prison. He claimed his innocence all along. Tupac began his prison sentence on February 14th, 1995, Valentine's Day. Before he started his sentence, he asked Morris for her hand in marriage. Keisha says Tupac told her, "I don't want you saying you're my girlfriend. I want people to take you seriously and let them know that you are my wife." The two tied the knot on April 29th, 1995, while Tupac was incarcerated in the Clinton Correctional Facility in upstate New York. But the younger faced criticism for dating Tupac after he was essentially convicted of rape. "I don't know what happened. I wasn't in the room," Morris said about Pac's sexual assault case. "I was nowhere around. I know he stated that he didn't have anything to do with it," she revealed. "I didn't want to see him go to jail for something he did not do." But she also admits being so young influenced her decisions at the time. "That kind of thing is tough on everybody. I didn't know what to believe. I was 20 years old, Morris said. "I didn't know what was going on. Of course, my parents didn't want me to be involved with anything like that. Being a good girl, you don't know. It's excitement. Good girls like the bad boys. That taught me lessons. Would I do it now? Absolutely not. But at the time, you're young and you don't know." She's a beautiful young sister too. While in prison, Tupac wanted to have daily visits from his wife. His thing was he wanted a visit every day so he can get out of the cell, she recalled. "It was hard. It was such a dramatic process, like, oh my God, I dreaded to do it. But, I did it. If I wasn't able to be there, I would make sure that someone else was there." Tupac would only end up serving 10 months in jail. He was released on October 12th, 1995. For Morris, she thought they were going to start a new life together. "I thought things were changing, that he changed," she admitted to the magazine. "Things were getting very difficult once he got bail, and I felt like I wasn't needed anymore. It wasn't a good feeling," she recalled. Like, okay, of course you don't know from being so young, but I just felt like, wow, okay, it was over. Like, okay, I don't need you anymore. I'm getting out. That's it. After Tupac was released from prison, he had the marriage annulled, but he still kept in charge with his former wife. Maybe they meant to say kept in check. He would still call me and leave messages and say, "Listen to the song," or "How are you? It's Tupac," Morris remembered. "So he always kept me like, it's going to be all right. I remember him specifically saying, 'You don't understand now, but you'll understand later.' Because he always had this notion that we were going to get back together," Morris added. "I remember him telling me he didn't want to damage me," she said of her conversation with the famous rapper. "He didn't want me to get hurt in any of whatever was going on with him, so he'd rather leave me alone. I was hurt. Absolutely. Did I feel like I was used? Absolutely," Morris acknowledged. Morris also fiercely denies using Tupac for fame. She says she moved close to the prison Tupac was held in. She admitted she basically stopped my life when he was in jail. She sent him almost daily packages revolving her life around him and what his needs were. When Tupac was released from prison, Morris was on vacation in California. She flew back right away, but to her surprise, a member of his family came and said, "Well, we'll take his stuff. You had your 15 minutes of fame. Now we'll take over from him. I couldn't even express to you the pain." And I remember, I believe it was his close cousin. She, was his soldier in the family, his rider, that was around his age. Okay, so then on September 7th, 1996, Tupac attended the Bruce Seldon versus Mike Tyson fight with Suge Knight at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada. There was a brawl between Tupac's group and Crips, alleged gang members, that night by 11:15 p.m. Tupac and Knight were stopped at a red light when a car pulled beside them and shot the rapper 4 times. He died on September 13th, 1996, from internal bleeding. Keisha only saw the rapper a couple of days before he was murdered. Keisha said she tried to keep her distance from Pac after the annulment, but he always called her when he was in New York, telling her, "You will always be Mrs. Shakur." Mrs. Shakur is now a mother of 2 who went on to earn her master's degree. Shout out to that sister. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so as y'all can see, I gave y'all the timeline with Pac. So I'm gonna go back. Now that I'm reading this, I'm gonna go back and I want to show y'all something. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, but I got an idea now. So y'all bear with me 1 second. All right, so it says the 2 tied the knot on April 29th, 1995. So I was just showing y'all that Pac and Keisha Morris got married in 95. All right, so here's Will Smith's Wikipedia. And if you scroll down to spouses right here, where he was married to Cherie Zampino, who was his first wife. And they met on the set of A Different World when he actually was going to try to seek out Jada Pinkett, but he ended up meeting Cherie. So as you see right here next to spouses, it says they was married in 92 and divorced in 95, which is allegedly the year that Will and Jada started dating, and then they got married in 1997. So it kind of makes you wonder, you know what I'm saying, since Pac didn't give her a chance and then she ended up going with Will. And matter of fact, let me show y'all something else that makes me come to that conclusion. So this is by aceshowbiz.com. And it says, Jada Pinkett Smith apparently was never proposed by Tupac Shakur. Rather, it was the other way around. A letter allegedly written by the late rap star has recently surfaced, claiming he never got down on one knee and asked the actress to marry him. This talk first made its way around during Jaden Smith's radio appearance. I'm looking at this picture of Tupac on the show right there, and Tupac asked my mom to marry him, the rapper and actor said, adding that Jada turned it down because she thought they were no more than best friends. However, in Tupac's letter that he wrote to Angela Artis when he was in prison, he claimed that Jada was actually the one who asked him to marry her. I have never had physical relationships with her, just friendship in the purest form, Tupac said, before saying the one he loved was a girl named Keisha. I am very loyal, so she's the special person in my life, he said of his lover. Well, Pac didn't play, like he said, I get around. But as far as his heart being given to the woman, as I just showed y'all, it was Keisha Morris. That's who he ended up marrying in early year 95. And that's the same year that Will and Jada actually started dating. And then they got married basically a year after Pac was killed in 1997. So that's all I say all this to just show y'all, because people keep saying Pac and Jada. But apparently, allegedly, she tried to propose to Pac and he turned her down. And he went with Keisha Morris. And what's crazy, even though Pac was the bad boy, let me give y'all some game on this, on how a lot of players really think, and the reason why a lot of times they don't want to get married, because they see all the stuff that they do. So of course it's a part of projecting, but they get to see reality and see how women, like Pac said, he was dealing with different women that were married or in relationships. So he sees the characteristics of certain types of women and how they move. And Jada Pinkett was the type of woman that moved in the wrong manner. So that's why he didn't want to get with her. You know what I'm saying? Because he could see, like, she was a very sexual person, meaning she had a promiscuous past, and she was bisexual, you know what I'm saying? And then so career oriented. That's why you see her put Will through so much shit, because she got to get herself together. She got some growing up to do still to this day. That's what it is. But real quick, before I leave, I want y'all to go ahead and check out this video I'm about to show with Jada Pinkett, or this audio clip that I'm about to play y'all with Jada Pinkett, talking about her and Pac and the situation, making it seem like they both agreed that it would not work. Y'all know how the rejected person does.
The Howard Stern Show. You were very close with Tupac Shakur.
Yes.
And Tupac Shakur wasn't the gangsta
that we all think he was, right? I remember his mother was a Black Panther.
Yes.
And he had a lot of Black Panthers, sort of raised by the Black Panthers and all that. But
he was a revolutionary without a revolution, if that makes any kind of sense. So then that kind of energy just transferred to a whole nother thing.
And don't you believe at that time he was in love with you? Because he would write poetry about you, that the fact that you two weren't sexual with one another, but he said you could make him come in a way that without sex, right?
You know, I think it's so funny because now being older, I have more of an understanding of what that was between us, because, you know, when you have two young people who have very strong feelings, but there's no physical chemistry between us at all. And it wasn't even just for me.
Right.
You know, it was him too. You know, there was a time when I was like, just kiss me. Let's just see how this goes. And when I tell you, it had to be the most disgusting kiss for us both.
Why? Explain that to me. Because it was so platonic, the relationship?
I think, you know, the only way I can put it is just the higher power just did not want that, because I feel as though if Pac and I had any kind of sexual chemistry, we might have killed each other, because we were both so passionate and, you know, we love deeply. I mean, it was hard enough just with us being friends. We had a very volatile relationship.
Did you recognize him as a great talent at that point?
I did.
What was it, his poetry?
It was his poetry. It was his personality. I had never in my life met a person
with
like
that kind
Pac.
of charisma.
He had so much charisma, and he was poor. I mean, Pac was poor. When I met Pac, he owned 2 pairs of pants and 2 sweaters, and that's it.
Were you shocked when he achieved the degree of fame that he did?
Absolutely not.
Really? Because,
I knew that was going to happen.
I mean, for both of you to become famous out of this shitty neighborhood in Baltimore is almost impossible.
It is. It's crazy. And he used to tell me all the time, he was like, Jada, you're a superstar. He's like, you're a superstar.
He didn't say it about himself.
He didn't say it about himself. No, he didn't. But he used to say it about me. And and he went to LA he went to Oakland. He went up north, and things started jumping off for him. And it really happened for us both at the same time.
So you guys were these close friends, really close, almost lovers, but the chemistry wasn't there.
Yeah.
But then as you go off to LA and pursue a career, and he goes off doing his thing, you guys are not friends. He went to jail.
He went to jail.
And you've said when he went to jail for the first time, he called you after that, and that he changed. Jail changed him.
Well, it wasn't. There was a lot of things that transpired once he went to jail. It was really once he came out,
right,
that he changed quite a bit, which is understandably.
Fame changed him, or just coming out of jail?
No. Jail.
Jail
was a very difficult experience for him,
right.
And of course we were on 2 sides of the spectrum, and Pac and I have always had very intense conversations, arguments, and if we disagree with each other, we disagree hardcore, and we had a very hardcore disagreement. And
what was the disagreement? What was the thing that broke you guys up in terms of a friendship?
I just wasn't in agreement with the direction that he was taking, and I just told him that it was a destructive direction.
A scary direction.
A very scary direction, and he felt as though, I had changed. I got Hollywood.
Right.
And
you had gone soft.
I had gone soft.
Right.
And I understood all that, and looking back now, I totally understand where Pac was, because at that particular point in time, that mentality was part of his survival for that moment. And it was actually a mentality he started to come out of before he was murdered.
Right.
All right, so there you guys have it. They couldn't really get along, and if they was to be in a relationship, it would have been terrible, like Jada said, especially when you got 2 headstrong people. And she tried to play it off, you know what I'm saying, by saying, oh, we kissed each other. It was like stop lying, you know what I'm saying? But as me and my comrade have always had conversations when it came to, relationships with men and women in life. Me and my partner HD always said, if you're trying to change your ways in life and you're trying to find a different route, you know what I'm saying? Like, say you're a player, you run the streets, whatever, and you want to find a good woman and finally settle down, or if you're fortunate to, you're not going to try to settle down with a woman that makes you reminisce of the old days and make you get that old feeling like, damn, I can't trust her. She's moving like these other women. So he went with Keisha Morris. That's just like if somebody's a drug dealer, thug, whatever, street dude, whatever you want to call it. They're not going to say, I'm going to change my life. And then while they trying to change their life, they going to start work. They going to keep working for they dope dealing boss or somebody like that. They gang, they going to remove themselves from it. They trying to change their life. And I think that's what Pac tried to do. You know what I'm saying? That's why he went with Keisha Morris over Jada Pinkett. You know what I'm saying? So the truth of the matter is, it don't matter how everybody else feel. Pac was smart enough not to go with her. If you notice, bad boys are smart enough to do that too. That's why, you know what I'm saying, bad dudes always wait till later on to settle down and just enjoy themselves. Even if they, you know, they find a good woman, you know what I'm saying, to settle down with, and, you know, they make the bad choice to cheat here and there, they still not gonna wife these women up because they know they got something better at home. Sometimes it just take a brother a little longer to get his mind right. You feel me? So hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Once again, make sure y'all subscribe and hit that notification bell. This your boy JT. And once again, Tupac did not want Jada Pinkett. Chill.